Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, just trying to keep the community informed and local government as honest as possible. In this video, we will be doing a brief overview of the agenda packet for the June 20th, 2023 City Council meeting and maybe adding a little commentary along the way. Closed session is scheduled from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Open session is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. The teleconference number is 520-525-8911, and the meeting will be streamed on YouTube Live. Public comments can be submitted via email at citycouncil@livingstoncity.com. Comments must be received by 2 p.m. on the day of the City Council meeting in order for them to be distributed to the Council prior to consideration of the matter. You will need to provide meeting date, item number, name, email, and comment. Please limit to 300 words or 3 minutes, and please include public comment in the subject for the email. Written comments will not be read aloud at the meeting, but will be reported as received for the record. If you do not receive an acknowledgement of receipt by 4 p.m., please call the City Clerk's office at 209-394-8041, extension 121, and note this technology is not a guaranteed method. Closed session agenda items include discussions about the appointment of a special counsel, the appointment of a city attorney, and a land purchase from Foster Farms. If I'm remembering correctly, this land purchase is for a needed well project. As for why the council is considering the appointment of a special counsel, we're in a special kind of legal situation that requires a special counsel experienced in dealing with this kind of situation in order to get through this kind of situation. At least that's what I think. Regular meeting. After the Pledge of Allegiance, moment of silence, roll call, closed session announcements, and any changes to the agenda is citizen comments. And there is a major change here under citizens comments. I'm going to start by reading the portion highlighted in yellow, then point out why this is so different from what we're used to. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the City Council on any item not on the agenda and items on the agenda. If you wish to speak on an item on the agenda, please state the item number. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes. If you've been a long-time City Council watcher or have just been to a few City Council meetings, you'd recall that this part of the agenda has been traditionally for people to be able to make comments about things that are not on the agenda. Since the things people would be bringing up at this time would not already be on the agenda, the City Council would not be allowed to take any kind of action on these items. Although the City Council could not take action on those items as a general rule, issues brought up by the public at this time could be added to future agendas for future discussion and action. Which is why you have this sentence about no action will be taken by the City Council this evening. But I think the way this paragraph is written for this particular agenda can end up being confusing, because it lumps together comments about items not on the agenda that the council is not supposed to take action on, and comments about items that are on the agenda that the council can take action on. I guess we'll see how this works out in actual practice at the council meeting itself. After citizen comments is announcements and reports. Here's a list of boards, commissions, and committees that Jatinder Mann, Jason Roth, and Maria Soto belong to. Next are the boards, commissions, and committees for Gurpal Samra and Jose Moran, followed by the receiving and filing of the City Treasurer's investment report for the month ending April 30th, 2023. Next is the consent agenda. There will be no separate discussion of any of these items unless members of the City Council or City Manager request that specific items be removed. On the agenda, we have waiving of reading of ordinances and resolutions and ratifying the check warrants. Resolution approving the cancellation of the first regular scheduled City Council meeting in July in observance of the 4th of July holiday. Resolution approving the City of Livingston list of eligible projects for funding from the Road Maintenance and Rehabilitation account. And resolution authorizing the interim city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement for an on-call development service. We'll get into some of those details a little bit later. Under public hearings, we have a 2-story townhouse triplex in an area zoned downtown commercial. Under discussion and potential action items, we have number 8, approving a professional services agreement with Bryant L. Jolly and an amended contract with Lassol and Lungard. This has to do with the audits and a late audit, and we'll get into some more of the details when we start looking at staff reports. Item 9 is a commitment of permanent local housing funds to the self-help enterprises for an affordable housing project on B Street, which is a joint venture between Self-Help and Livingston Community Health Services. Next is for the council to consider and discuss options for filling the city clerk position vacated by Leticia Vasquez-Zurita. Last on the list is approving the restated joint powers agreement of the Merced County Association of Governments, followed by council direction on future agenda items and adjournment. On the treasurer's report, total cash and investments is shown as $38,549,529.27. The report shows that cash and investments are held in the State of California Local Agency Investment Fund and Farmers and Merchants Bank. The first regularly scheduled City Council meeting happens to fall on the 4th of July. If the Council does not approve the resolution canceling the regular meeting, a special meeting will be held on July 5th. Eligible projects for road maintenance and rehabilitation funds. The funding for these projects will come from increased gasoline and diesel fuel excise taxes and additional vehicle registration fees for California residents. On the list of projects are at Winton Parkway, Hammett Avenue, Stephanie Avenue, and Slurry Seals projects on various streets. Moving on to on-call community development services. According to the staff report, the city received a termination letter from West Coast Consultants in the beginning of May. You can see below the list of tasks the city now needs to have done by a new contracting firm, including a building official, code compliance, administrative support, planning, project management, engineering, public works inspection, and construction management. This part of the staff report includes the city's decision to hire permanent staff for the permit technician position. I want to add that the city is also planning to hire a staff person to take over the position of community development director. Moving on to the 2-story townhouse triplex, which will be located on the south side of B Street between 1st and 2nd Street in the downtown commercial area. Multifamily apartment dwellings in the downtown commercial zoning district may be permitted with the approval of a conditional use permit. This aerial map shows the location for the proposed triplex. Now let's get into this staff report. The first paragraph is talking about the need to approve a professional services agreement with Bryant Jolly for year-end closing and audit support services for fiscal year 2021-2022. And an amendment with Lance, Soley, and Lungard. Mr. Jolly is to be paid an amount not to exceed $30,000 for services related to fiscal year 2021-2022. However, under background, we note there was already a contract in place with LSL for fiscal year 2021-2022 for $39,698. The LSL contract also included audit services for fiscal year 2022, 2023 for $40,492. To recap so far, the city had a contract for the 2021-2022 audit with LLP. The city now wants to add another auditing firm into the mix for that audit because of staff working on the budget and new staff not familiar with the audit process. The audit has been delayed. Now, why would that be, you might ask? Before we go any further in the staff report, let's go down a side road and look at the time frame for fiscal year 2021-2022 and a few months thereafter. Fiscal year 2021-2022 began July 1st, 2021 and ended June 30th, 2022. All things being normal, the auditing process would most likely have been wrapped up and results presented to the council by the end of December 2022. But that fiscal year was anything but normal, as you can see by some of these significant events that took place between July 1st of 2021 and June 30th of 2022. Between June 30th, 2022 and the end of December 2022, when you'd think you'd want everything running as smooth and as stable as possible, you could see there was even more turnover and turmoil. So I'm not really surprised that under the circumstances, this audit is late. However, late does seem to have significant consequences attached, some of them financial. Now, in order to complete the 2021-2022 audit, LSL is wanting an additional $28,672 to perform the audit and an additional $16,962 to do the audit for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. A request for proposals was sent out to 6 firms, but no responses were received as of the due date. Gee, I wonder why. I noticed in the agreement included in the agenda packet that it would be dated for convenience as of the 3rd of March, 2021. Wait, what? Why? Dated for convenience? What the heck does that mean? Maybe someone will explain it during the city council meeting discussion. I sure hope so. Moving on to a commitment of $438,217 to an affordable housing project by Self-Help Enterprises and Livingston Community Health. This would provide approximately 70 to 80 units of affordable workplace housing targeting farm workers, seniors, and families under 50% of area median income. Funds will be provided as a low-interest deferred loan. Next, City Council to consider and discuss options for filling the city clerk position vacated by Leticia Vasquez Zarita. If the city were to hold a special election, the estimated cost could be between $15,448 and $53,345. The last item on the agenda is the Joint Powers Agreement with Merced County Association of Governments. The current agreement expires July 18, 2023. This is something that's been batted back and forth for quite a few months now. I know there were some questions about the agreement raised at the last MCAG meeting, but what I don't know is what kind of answers, if any, were given. Once signed, term of the agreement would be for 30 years. If you like what I do here, please follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember, editorial content is my own as a long-term resident of Livingston and does not represent the views and opinions of the City Council or the City of Livingston itself and does not hold itself out to be any kind of legal advice.